Ladies and gentlemen, Gungans and droids, come on in. You see that? That's a Wampa Omicron over there. Shh, don't get too excited. It's got increased tenacity, increased health, offense. That's a beast you don't want to screw around. Unless you're a king of Triple B and you have experience of handling with top tier Omicrons. I'm gonna try to make contact. What do you mean I just said F your mom? All right, let's go, come on. We probably should get out before it gets too serious over here. Come on over, ladies and gentlemen. Gungans and droids across our beloved empire. Wampa Omicron fever is taking over the galaxy. Fresh Omicron for Grand Arena. This is the first week that we're able to try out Wampa Omicron, and it's taking the Star Wars Galaxy of Heroes community by force. We have a load of gameplay where we even see it solo a Sith Eternal Galactic Legend team. And I think we're just scratching the surface of what this Omicron can do for Galaxy Heroes. If you're looking to invest in this Omicron, well, we got a variety of gameplay that the community has been sharing and getting people all crazy. Let's start rolling some gameplay. Actually, a quick reminder, with the Omicron, they reverted it back to 75%. They accidentally put it to 50%, accidentally being the key phrase in quotation marks here. Increased tenacity in Grand Arena, tons of defense, max health, protection, offense, and it's doubled that there's only one enemy on the other side of the field at the start of the battle, so great for solos. But my question is, could I use this Omicron to just take out full entire teams? And the answer's gonna be a very clear yes. Let's roll some of that gameplay and show you what we got cooking here. And I want to start with the first battle we have here from VARTH Dater. Now, granted, not the supreme ideal Sith Eternal situation, but usually when we see Sith Eternal, it's with leftover Sith Lords. There's a few key things I would watch out for if I'm using the Wampa Omicron. One, stuns, ability blocks, dazes, fractures of that sort. And generally with the Sith Eternal team, you're not going to find a lot of that stuff unless they start throwing in Bas-Lashan or something of that sort. But man, Wampa, once they start cranking up the heat, he's going to clean up the Sith Eternal and he'll be home for dinner with the family, sitting around the table, telling each other stories. What did you do, little Johnny? I don't care. I just took out a Sith Eternal single-podly. And that's what Sith Eternal's seeing as we got right here. Now, I don't know if that Wampa on this side is an Omicron here, but nonetheless, Wampa seems it's mostly meant to be a standalone character. Now, unfortunately, it looks like you're not really going to be benefiting too much from this character being on defense because you need to have no allies. And you need you also get extra benefits if there's only one character left. Look at that, taking out a Sith Eternal handily. What about the special forces? Well, we got our special operations unit, Steve here, showing Wampa soloing an Iden team. Now, some of the gear levels are a little bit lower. You see a lower gear Iden, some lower gear Imperial Troopers, but nonetheless, even low gear special forces Iden units, they are a menace. They are deadly. And even with the stuns, luckily, we have crazy high tenacity that those stuns are not able to penetrate, because keep in mind, we're getting 100% tenacity when we're starting off this party here. And you're constantly stacking up your tenacity by 30% until the beautiful end of the encounter. One, you're using Furious Foe, which, by the way, the cooldowns are going to be reduced like crazy. This guy, he's going to be screaming to the top of his lungs half the time, jacking up his stats. And, you know, this might be perfect time. Most people don't apply that Furious Foe Zeta, but with that Zeta, you're getting extra healing immunity. This is what I wanted to see. We already know Wampa was the creme de la creme if you had a rebel problem. But it kind of got a little dusty, fell to the wayside. The Omicron is bringing him back to be competitive with those pesky rebels. And I was hoping, when we first saw this Omicron, I was like, oh, please, Lord our and Jesus, can you please bestow upon the community a way to burn through these rebel fighters without having to burst my poor little heart, throwing in my Jawas and getting all Jawa juice out of my mind because the Jawa juice addiction, that is one addiction, it's hard to kick. Well, now we got a new addiction, that's the Wampa Omicron. Being able to go through an ideal rebel fighter team with Kyle Katarn trying his best to keep the rebel opposition alive. But the Wampa, one smack here, one smack there, a backhand smack on Mo Money. And guess what? He's going home for dinner tonight. He ain't gonna be missing dinner tonight, my friends. Another opportunity here, mix up the lineup. Maybe Biggie might cause a problem because Biggs gets a lot of Terminator. When he's being critically hit, Wampa don't care. He's like, please hit me because I'm going to return the favor and smack you back. Kyle Katarn already down for the count. This is a lower gear Rebel Fighter team. The previous one had a lot more relics on it. So for me personally, one of my biggest concerns, as I mentioned earlier, is it's cool that it looks like it's going to be great for cleanup, but I would love to use it in a situation where it could just take on a full team right off the get-go, because usually if you have to clean up, something's going wrong, unless it's supposed to be a tactical 2 or 3 shot and you don't mind going in for the second shot. But in the most part, you want this Omicron to do one-shotting stuff, and boy, we still got a lot more gameplay to show you guys here. This is just starting the party, and man, oh man, we got a lot of other stuff. And again, this was after the first Grand Arenas. Imagine what we're gonna know about this guy 1 month now, trying to deal with the pesky card doing here with that potency up. But hey, it's free real estate for Wampa just to play around a little bit. Combat Carl's trying to come back to the party. You don't want to see this massacre with the Wampa. And here we go, they're gonna taunt again. Perfect opportunity to try to go with 3, 2, 1. Look at him, Mo Money's trying to mount the comeback. The only thing she's mounting is a freaking bowel movement trip to the bathroom. And there we go, 78 banners right at the get-go. That's what Papa loves to see. Separatists, you think this would cause a problem? You got extortion, trying to get a little pocket change from Wampa, trying to grease up some hands with Newt Fruity. No, Wampa don't play that game. He doesn't care about your extortion. He doesn't care if you got the pointy finger that wiggles, that calls in the mass assist. These guys have a world of pain coming, and this is a high relic separatist team here. Something I would not have thought that this would be able to handle, but seeing that we saw Rebel Fighters sit him taken down, sit the turtle, I mean, why not at this point? These are characters you might be seeing out there. Some leftovers when Grievous is out doing some other droid nuke things out there. Look at that. Already the tank down. Magna Guard's down. And guess what? We have another separatist team with the Metalloid monstrosity member himself, General Grievous. And man, I know he gets kicked around the block sometime, but this is going to be a new level of pain that they haven't quite experienced here. Look, they don't even care about the extortion. They're like, fine, try to extort. What are you going to try to extort out of a Wampa? You're not going to get a whole lot. This guy's clean. He's got a clean bill of health. He's a family man, let me tell you. Or is it a family mama, Gary? I need to know. You don't know? Well, that's not my problem. Go figure it out by the end of this video, or else you're out, okay? All right, he's got the, we're on the same page here. Look at that AoE icebreaker smash here. Remember, besides the high damage and the counterattacks this guy has, he's able to dispel his own debuffs. He's able to get tons of more protection. But when you already got juiced up max health, that protection up is going to be pretty darn huge on this guy. And the Daze is able to control those counterattacking base teams out there. So primarily, for the most part, you see the Omicron primarily benefiting the WAP, the basic ability, because he's going to be counterattacking a ton here. And if there's damage over time, oh my gosh, it's going to hurt a ton. But also, the Furious Foe is going to be a lot more important. Furious Foe is one of those abilities that people sometimes skipped out on before, but because it had such a high cooldown, you rarely got around to it. Now with the cooldown reduction on the Omicron, you're going to be spamming Furious Foe a ton. And that's going to be increasing your offense even more, your critical chance, your accuracy. I don't know why the accuracy matters as much, because he's already got a pretty darn good basic that really can't be evaded all that often. But nonetheless, this is the character you enter battle with. They're going to go through a transformative inner journey. And by the end of your roughly 2 to 3 minutes battle, this Wampa at the very end, their offense stats are nowhere near the same. Their tenacity, nowhere near the same. The protection, nowhere near the same. Their stats have just juiced up throughout the whole entire thing. That is called a Wampa retreat right here. We got SPACECOWBOY taking in their Relic 3. Wampa Omicron, basically like bare minimum to get through Jedi Knight Luke Skywalker's event. Going up against an Akbar, Omicron, Leia, Omicron. Wampa says, oh my, breakfast time, my friends. Knocking out these Rebel Fighters one by one. It did get a little nasty. I do have to say that. I could definitely see this going a little bit off the rails, but nonetheless pushing through. Speaking of that Metalloid monstrosity you mentioned earlier, Enigmatic Potato shared some footage of Wampa going up against this Grievous team. Not the 100% ideal Grievous team. We're missing out on the correct fifth member, but nonetheless, we have IG-88 in there. A droid still going to trigger that unique ability over on Grievous. Has healing immunity baked into that target lock that happens. So although it's not the ideal unit inside the scene, you'd rather have Newt Gunray or droid along the lines of something of that sort. But nonetheless, even if the healing immunity that's coming from the basic on the IG-88 unit, as well as the AoE target lock here, look at him, one by one, eating them up for breakfast, lunch, and yes, He's bringing it home for the leftovers at dinner, at the table, for the children, in case they want a little snack afterwards. And here we go. Usually Grievous has been amazing in a 1v1 situation against a non-legendary, even against legendaries, he's great in 1v1 situations. In this situation, though, he's got a bit of a problem. He is no longer the king of 1v1 solos out there. Grievous, even though he can shake off the debuffs, he can have a crazy high health pool. At the end of the day, once this B1 battle droid goes down, Grievous has to really show his weight. And unfortunately, just not enough to put down the beast, the wild beast of the wilderness, the beautiful Wampa. Is this an Omicron to look forward to? I thought this was a slam dunk when it came out. I was furious. I would say a furious foe to CG when mysteriously they accidentally, I have a feeling they wouldn't have done anything if we didn't make a big fuss about it. That's what we're here for, to make sure that they keep their money where their mouth is, keep their promises, because this was a fantastic Omicron when we had the kit reveal about a week or so ago, and now it's back to the original 75% defense, max health, max detection, and offense, and it's gonna double as well if there's only one enemy on the field. So originally, I thought this, I really want to see this up against like a Lord Vader. Lord Vader solo, something of that sort, a Rey solo. This guy's gonna have a crazy high health pool. I don't have the right mods on yet. I'm not gonna buy the Omicron right now because word on the street is something big is gonna be happening later on this week. If there's something, a new character, new Omicrons, I want to be able to assess the landscape before we start slapping an Omicron. But if nothing interesting happens this week by the next Grand Arena cycle, yeah, this Omicron, we're upgrading it, baby. It's looking like a lot of fun. At the minimum, I see Rebel fighters everywhere. I would love to have a character that's not going to give me as much of a heart attack, because Jawas, it's a Hail Mary full of RNGs. It's the RNGs that's better be with thee. And sometimes it's not. This right here, though, with Wampa, poo, I think it's going to be a lot of fun. Great to see more fun Omicrons for Grand Arena. I wish other Omicrons could instill this much excitement. I got to say this. I have Boba Fett, Son of Django. I know he can beat some Galactic legends. But this is a lot more exciting for me. An old character that's been in the game for a long, long time. One Omicron that is doing a lot of work. So leave that like, comment down below, subscribe so you're not missing a thing. Thank you guys so much for coming out. And always remember, on your way out to the Kyber Club, always remember that it's great to be in the Empire today.